Hello again. Welcome back. We're once again in my office in Nottingham. This is where all the magic happens. Well, some of it anyway. So, I'd like to talk today to you about another exciting expansion we have for Lifeform called 13th Passenger. Now, this is a modular expansion and it comprises of 3 elements. The first of these is 2 new characters that we've been playtesting for quite a while, one of which is the mission attendant Emma. Now I'm holding up 2 here, hopefully you can see these. When we go into manufacture, the 2-player side and the 3 to 4-player side, they'll be like this. So that's the same for the other character as well, so you'll be able to flip them. And the other one, Overman, Shelby Overman, the grizzled mining engineer, veteran of Ventham Mining Corp, is the other one. So that's the first module. 2 characters. What can I say about them? Emma is, both of them are very useful. Emma's got an in-joke as the title of one of her skills, as a survival skills called Schrodinger's Cortex. Now, if you know anything about that and the way the game works with the bluffing mechanism, then you might get a little kick out of that. If you don't, it sounds cool. Right, the other one, a particular favourite of mine, is Shelby Overman, the mining engineer. And he's got 2 very he's a systems expert and he's a robotics specialist. He's useful for knackering up the homicidal mining android. Anyway, so that's the first thing. You get 2 new characters, and for those of you that didn't get the subtleness of the fact that it's called 13th Passenger, the crew of the starship comprised 12. The 13th Passenger, unlucky for some, yes, in the future, spaceman and mining staff are still superstitious. The 13th Passenger is the alien life form, if you didn't get that. Right, the second module is I'm not sure of the size that's going to be in manufacture, probably slightly larger. This is the shuttlecraft Remora, the emergency shuttlecraft that you're aiming to escape the Valley Forge on. So it's similar breakdown with the deck plan to the main game, in that you've got a little bit of thematic detail, and this is I guess you could class it as a smaller chapter inserted between leaving the Valley Forge and then having a conflict on board the shuttle with the life form. Now, this particular module is for experienced gamers. I certainly wouldn't recommend it for the first or few times that you play the game, so that you get used to the systems. That's something that I would certainly advise you that you don't do that. And it plays in about 4 to 5 minutes, this, maybe quicker, could be longer depending on whether your group starts scratching their heads. The alien bluffs, it comes with 5 cards as well, which you don't seem to have to hand. That's my organisational powers in operation there. The alien chooses one of the 5 chambers on the starship to hide in, and depending on which room the alien chooses, it's either a sweetness for it or, a sour ability. And it also is allowed to put a bluff on the board, which, if the alien manages to pull it off, gets the extra tokens. But that might be a giveaway to where it is, so it won't hide there. So there's a lot of thinking about. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but it's a good little bluffing game. And like I say, if you've played the game a few times, it mixes it up. There could be devastating effects, but each chamber, there's a consequence, good or bad, for the crew and for the alien, depending on where they search. So none of the chambers are a straightforward answer of, oh, he'll definitely be in that room because he'll get X, Y, Z. And then they go, but... So it's not as straightforward as it seems. Okay, that's module 2, probably the largest of it. The third module is, I guess, if you've got to know a bit more about the background of the game, the thematic description at the beginning. The starship is proximate to a nebula, and also when the catastrophe of the alien and the virus has affected the mainframe, and also the mining android is starting to run amok. Also, all of these, the perfect storm, the starship is drifting towards a asteroid field, and that is what the third module incorporates. Again, this is an optional add-on that makes the game slightly harder for the crew, adds a little bit of a random nature depending on which deck is affected by the asteroid field impacting with the Valley Forge. So that it's completely compatible with the solo. So on the cards it's got the main game effect, and then below the solo. So if you really want to make the solo game hard, part of the way through the game you can have the Valley Forge smashed to pieces, or, you know, partly wrecked by an asteroid impact or multiple asteroids. So that's what that is. Each obviously is interchangeable. The crew are obviously useful in solo, and also the this section, the search the remora for the alien section, that's also solo compatible, in that some of the decisions on the crisis cards for the solo game are have a consequence as to where it could be efficient for the alien to hide. Obviously you haven't got the bluff because there's no AI controlling where the alien is hidden. That's all down to token placement in the crisis. I don't know if I've made any sense with that bit, but basically it's all compatible with the solo. So I hope that's explained it a little bit more about what this is about, and I will maybe back with another video very soon. Thank you very much. Cheers.